Are millennials lazy? Are millennials babies? Are they the problem? Are we the problem? What does it mean to be a millennial? Well, my name is Quan Bailey. Welcome to the Quan Bailey Show. Today we're going to be going over what it means to be a millennial based off content that we found over the internet. Personally, like I said, I am a millennial. This is day one of 100 days of uploading daily. We're going to go over whatever interesting topics I come across. I would love suggestions down below. We're going to be talking about real estate, dating, and all things that make us socialist people, man. So if you like that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get to this video. Are millennials really the problem? Let's go.
I feel like there's two types of burnout that millennials are experiencing right now. And the first one is obvious, right? Work burnout, where you're just horribly overeducated and undercompensated, but you're too exhausted to go look for a new job right now. But the second one is just life burnout. It's like you followed all the directions and you put in the hard work and the effort, but you're still not seeing the rewards pay off. And so now your dopamine take is completely drained, where you don't even have the motivation for much of anything. It's a burnout that's a result of our conditioning that no longer works in our favor, where we were taught a set of rules and programs that used to work out pretty well, but now they just keep us subconsciously addicted to stress. But here's the thing, because all we know is work really hard, and if you're not getting what you want out of life, just work a little bit harder, we keep spinning on this human hamster wheel in a rat race with no clear reward or ending in sight. And even when things are going well and we finally feel like we're getting ahead, the next war, the next recession, the next pandemic hits and knocks us right back down, just like Chumbawamba said. So whether it's one or the other, or heck, maybe both for you, I just want you to know, number one, you're not alone. Even though we're all self-isolating and thinking it's just us, it's not. And number two, you're not doing anything wrong. You're not lazy for wanting to rest your fried nervous system. You are not entitled for wanting the same fair set of rules that seem to work out okay for generations before us. And you're enough, regardless of how much you've been conditioned to believe that your level of worth comes from your level of productivity.
Yo, huge shout out to that creator, man. All the videos in this video are going to be down below. So we're talking about what it's like to be a millennial. So millennial burnout is clearly real. This is what we mean. This is what millennials like myself are talking about when we say that life kind of feels like a setup at times. Like the things we were promised when we went to college was, you go to college, you get a degree, you get a good job, and like not life is smooth, but you can have a comfortable life, and people have advanced degrees and can't even get jobs. People in these jobs don't like them, and then people out here, they see people working, it seems like less like not as hard as they are, and reaping all the benefit and reward. It's pretty interesting. And then you see like other generations that don't really like millennials and have so much to say, and I guess it can be kind of hard. But my opinion is honestly this: we can decide how happy we are. We can create opportunities for ourselves, and I think the further we break away from what we were taught was the plan, the better things are going to be. But I've got another video here for you guys. This one is about wages in like the 70s versus now. So like, again, now we're going to take it back baby boomers time just to see how it translates to what the normal millennial goes through today.
In 1970, the minimum wage was $1.40. That is $224 a month. However, the average apartment was only $108. So for 48% of your check, you could get an apartment. Fast forward to 2024, the federal minimum wage is $7.25, which is $1,160 a month. But the average apartment is $1,700. You cannot even afford an apartment today. In fact, if you make twice the minimum wage, you cannot afford an apartment in 2024. If you want to know what it was like growing up in 1970, the average apartment today should be $556. Millennials and Gen Zers, can you imagine how incredible life would be if rent was only $556? But let's look back to 1970 at the median household income. It was $8,700, and the median house price was just $17,000, so just 2 times the yearly salary. Fast forward to today, median household income $85,000, median house $400,000. That is 4.7 times. If you want to know what it was like in 1970, the average house today should be $170,000, which is fair, which would help everyone get into a house, and the American dream would still be alive. So yes, things are always difficult for every generation, but it is significantly harder for millennials and Gen Zers. So boomers, let's stop beefing with each other, and let's see how we can help the millennials and Gen Zers have a bright future.
All right. I mean, I got to say, that was an absolute banger of a video. So again, I'm going to credit everybody down below, but listen, he is so spot on. Basically looking at 1970, right? I'm going to pull this up. Looking at 1970, if you made the minimum wage was $1.40 an hour, you basically could afford to own a home. And the same but in 2024, if you make that $7.25 minimum wage, you can't even come close. Now I know some places minimum wage is $20, especially like here in California, but the cost of living is adjusted for that, right? So it doesn't really compare. But seeing the salaries, seeing the mortgages versus rent, rather, that earlier stat was about rent. It shows that it's next to impossible working one job to fully support yourself in this current state, in that current economy, which is why you see so many Americans like moving to other countries where the cost of living is lower and they can work the same remote jobs making all this money. It's really quite interesting. But I just feel like it's possible to get through this. Like, I feel like those numbers are daunting, but like, I feel like though we may have the least valuable money, but we have the most resources. I feel like with the internet and the way you can make money on the internet, the way you can, have side jobs, where you can do multiple remote jobs at once. Yes, we're still working extremely hard, but I think it's still doable. And I'm not telling anyone to be a slave to like the system, but I feel like I have never I don't know, focused on how much the dollar is worth or how hard it was for another generation. Like for me, I'm like, well, if I want something, I just have to go get it, which is why, I'm a full-time content creator. One of the reasons why I started this second channel away from my main channel. Like I wanted to, diversify, meet more people, reach new audiences and have more fun. And like this could become an income stream for me. Like my training page has and all my other platforms, and I still have my full-time training business. So it's like, I need all of those things to keep the lifestyle that I would like, but it's just cool to know that we have flexibility and connectivity that other generations didn't have. I hope that made sense. And this third video is really hilarious, guys. I had to bring this one in. This one is about how everyone says us millennials, look good for our age or don't look good for our age. Like for me, people always say they think I'm 50 years old when I post a video on the internet. And a lot of people say millennials look good for their age. Well, here's what he has to say about how millennials should feel about
This is a quick message for millennials, and it's coming from a place of love because I happen to be a millennial. You look your age. We all look like we're in our 30s, and that's okay because we are in our 30s. You don't look 19, and you haven't looked 19 since you were 22. A lot of us do look good for our ages, but we still look our ages. Don't get it confused. And also, millennials, we have to give ourselves some credit because, one, yes, we look our ages and we look good for our ages, and that's an accomplishment because we have lived through at least 3 history textbooks worth of events. I have living memories of September 11th. Things have not been normal since that day, and things keep happening. It's things happening right now. So just drink your water, add some fiber into your diet, eat some leafy greens, switch to brown rice, and leave Gen Z alone. Gen Z does not care about us. Same way we don't care about Gen X or the boomers. Gen Z and Gen Alpha and whatever else is coming, they don't care about us. It's okay.
Okay, I love the realism there. I think it really comes down to, again, kind of like my viewpoint, we got to care for ourselves. We got to live in our lives. We got to go through what we got to go through and more or less stop comparing the way we look, comparing how much money we make, comparing how easy something is to any other generation. So to answer the question, are millennials babies? Are we asking for too much? Are we soft? No, we're not. We have been dealt a very interesting hand, but there are some other things that other generations went through that we haven't had to go through. And like I said, the connectivity piece, and I think the willingness to learn and adapt is going to make us very successful over time. I don't think we're going to be a generation that didn't figure it out, and I think we're going to help future generations do well as well. So I hope this was a fun video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've been having a great time making videos. This is day 1 of my 100-day challenge. I'm going to be uploading a video to this channel every day for 100 days, like I said earlier in the video. So with that being said, this was the Quan Bailey Show. I appreciate and love you guys. I promise I will improve with every video. This new style is kind of interesting at times. But other than that, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks, folks.